Hi YouTube, welcome back. I've just got a little short video to do today, a request by one of my followers on Instagram. Lisa asked me what was my favourite concealer and could I talk about it in a video. There's no easy answer to that, Lisa, because I don't have a single favourite concealer. As you can see, I have a whole wardrobe of concealers to do little different jobs, but these are all tried and tested, and I think with the exception of the palette, repurchased, so really favourite concealers that absolutely work for me. Depending on your age and skin condition and what you're looking to conceal, different things might work for different people, but these are what I use. So here goes. The big concealing job for me is under eye dark shadows. I don't really mind the lines and the bags too much, but definitely lightening up the very dark shadows under my eyes can make me look 50% more alive and better straight away. So I do work on that most days. And my favourite under eye concealer is by Becca, and it's a specific under eye product, the Becca Under Eye Brightening Concealer. What I like about this is both its texture and colour. The colour obviously may be less effective for other people. That may depend on your skin colouring. I'm quite fair, I have very dark shadows, and this kind of light salmony pink, it's showing up a bit more grey in my monitor than it does in real life, is perfect to conceal for me. I also like that it's quite a sticky cream. I'm a bit shaky today, despite having taken my tablets, but there we go. That's a bit better. You can see it there. I think you can see it's a very moist cream, so it's quite moisturising. It is sticky and some people won't like that. But for me, I find it works very well, both because it's easy to swipe on and it looks very fresh on me. So I don't know how useful a swatch is. There you can see it is quite pink and salmony on the skin, but it definitely blocks out the dark shadows. So that's my optimum concealer for under eyes, and I highly recommend trying it. I do sometimes use this NARS liquid concealer, the more conventional all over the face concealer. This one is light to vanilla, which is a good shade and a half lighter than my actual skin. I use this sometimes under the eyes. It's a drier formula. I mean, it's liquid, obviously, but it doesn't go on quite as moist, if you understand what I mean, as the Becca. And I don't think it conceals quite as well in the sense of blocking out the dark. What it does do is light reflect very well. I used to use Touche Eclat and various other brightening sticks under the eyes. I just don't now. I use one of these two. I might be more inclined to use this one in the evening because it kind of slightly light reflects. And when I use it, I kind of brush it on. It's got the usual, let's show you, Dauphin. It's a bit messy. That's the only thing around the top you can see. Needs to give it a wipe. This is my thing with NARS packaging. This kind of rubberized sticky black doesn't wear very well. It does look very messy very quickly. I don't actually like the NARS packaging. Some people love it. So I stick that on. You can pat it in with fingers. I like to use a brush. And similarly, I use this usually to just touch up little areas around the nose, broken capillaries or whatever. That's my kind of standard day touch-up. If I'm looking for a more flawless finish and I want to conceal both, giving more concealment, a heavier look if you like, or a more lasting look that I'm going to powder over and hopefully will go all night or all day, then I will tend to use this palette, which is a semi-pro palette by RCMA, and I've got the KA, which is kind of the lightest palette, and you can see there you've got 5 shades that are all pretty similar. You can use this under the eyes as well. These are very pigmented creams. I've had this for a couple of years now. It is starting to dry a little bit, so I need to kind of moisturize underneath for it to work, and I will tend to kind of spot apply this with a small brush, but it does some really heavy duty concealment, and you can obviously mix the colours to get a really true colour finish. If I can't be bothered doing that, and if I want some extra coverage basically on my chin where there's a bit more redness, and around the edges of my nose where again there's a bit more redness, there's some broken capillaries, and it has to be said, some enlarged pores. Doesn't that sound delightful? If I want to give myself some better coverage, particularly on the chin area, I tend to use, these are actually foundations. They're the Tom Ford, what are they called? They're the stick foundation. It doesn't actually say what they are. And I can use these as foundation as well, but they're pretty moist but heavy, full coverage. I don't tend to use them on the whole of my face, but I will use them effectively to give higher coverage on areas where I need concealment. And I am midway between 2 shades. So this is Pale Dune and this is Fawn, and you can see they're pretty close together, and I can blend the two, or you know, in summer I'll tend to use Fawn and in winter Pale Dune. These sticks are really expensive. I think they're about £70, but they last forever. They give quite a moist, glowy look, but you do have to work them in. And unusually, if you're not doing spot concealing with them, but you're using them as a foundation, they work best with the fingers. It's the one foundation that, because the warmth of your hand makes them easier to work with, they last for ages and they really don't go off. So I do like them a lot, and I use them a lot. The other spot concealer for a true spot, I very, very rarely get spots now, so I haven't actually used this for a while. When I was a bit younger, and a bit premenopausal, I got the odd kind of pinprick spot. The other thing that I had until I had it treated was a fairly obvious broken capillary just on the side of one cheek. And when I had that before I had some laser treatment that got rid of it, I used to just paint that over using a little brush. And the best was an ID Bare Minerals in Bisque, a multitasking mineral powder. I didn't use it as a foundation, just literally for concealing, and I had to spot use. For some reason this would last much better concealing, in particular that broken capillary, which was a bit red, or as I say, if I got the odd red spot. Because that was a nuisance to take along in my handbag, I would take along the Laura Mercier Neutral crayon concealer. It's looking a bit gungy at the moment and broken, so it needs sharpening, but that was what I would use day to day. So that's the concealer wardrobe. I hope that answers your question, Lisa. I do really recommend the Becca Under Eye. Be interested to see how that works out for other people. It's obviously not going to work out for darker complexions because there's only that one colour, but for fair skins I think it works very well, and the NARS as well is an excellent concealer. So until next time, bye for now.